All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to HBCU Coach's Corner. My name is Rocky Miller, and I'm here along with my trusty sidekick, my co-host, my man with a plan, none other than Mr. Steve Campbell, the Rattler, the Bishop, the Detective. Coach, we had a good time this weekend, Coach, so I don't even have to ask you how you doing.
No, you need to ask me how I'm doing because you all had me out in that cigar bar until 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah, I did.
And we church going folks over here. You know what I'm saying? we good church going folks, and you guys had me out. You know, good clean cigar fun. Now we wasn't at the getting those lemon pepper wings down the street.
No.
Nice cigar, regular cigar bar. We didn't have no shoe models in front of us.
No, we didn't. We had some good clean fun. We had a great time at the Swag MEAC Challenge. Got a chance to see some football. Football season is here, Steve, and that is one thing I am really, really happy about. But now that football season is here, we're getting out. We run. It's almost like a car wash, Coach. We getting coaches every day almost, and so we got another great coach here. Somebody that I personally saw his NFL career from the very beginning. I also followed him at Florida State when he arrived at Florida State, and he was a highly touted guy out of Mississippi. He wasn't a Florida boy, but it seems like he caught on, and the folklore of him as a player, was highly anticipated as he arrived on campus. You were there at Tallahassee. You probably remember the anticipation of him coming on campus as a player and what he would ultimately turn out to be. With no further ado, I'm going to step aside and let Steve give him his proper introduction.
Well, I am super excited to introduce Pasco School of Mississippi native, Florida State University alum, All-American, #1 pick, 18 years of coaching experience, but now very proudly to say what he is now. Mississippi Valley State University's 19th head football coach, Terrell Buckley.
Man, I like that.
I'm getting him up there. Hold on. Can you add him, Steve? Steve, can you press add? Because I don't know if it's
where's that at?
Him on the screen down there at the bottom. You see where he's in the
I don't even see. He look like he's trying to come
see it.
I think he's there now.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we got him now?
Yes. Well, I see it.
I see you, Coach.
All right, Coach, can you?
All right, Coach, go ahead. Coach, you about to say something. You about that introduction. Did I do you right, Coach?
You did me right, man. I appreciate that. Both of you guys did me.
All right. Hopefully, it seems like we got like a little, and it's probably on my end, guys. So my apologies.
Yeah, I can't even see on that down that corner. I just see myself. Coach, we're gonna get you together. Hang on with it, because we know this.
I got you.
We got a lot of good stuff to talk to you about.
Mm-hmm. I'm on. I see it now. Now I'm on top.
All right, Coach. My apologies. It's a little technical.
Now, Coach, but that's where you usually are. Naturally, your whole life has always been on top now.
That's what I told.
You live.
Hey, that's what I told FAMU today. That's what I told Coley. Hey, we're gonna be on top. We coming in at a win too.
and Rocky, we're gonna talk about that. I was able to attend the Georgia Football Classic press conference with Coach Buckley and Coach Cozen, and I was actually in the house and got to talk to both of them. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So Rocky, we got our coach here. Looks like we got our technical difficulties out the way. So Coach Rocky's gonna get us started off, and then you know me, you're gonna get into that Mississippi stuff.
I got you.
Hey, Coach. First off, I got to start off by saying, Coach, you got the job in pretty late order, and with other coaches in the conference had an opportunity to do some recruiting, hire their staff, get in place, and you were, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Coach, you were the last guy that was selected in the conference as head coach. With that being the case, what can we expect from this Mississippi Valley State team this year?
Well, when you Mississippi made, we don't make any excuses, right? No complaining. This was a hand that was dealt, and the attitude that I always have is a positive attitude, a workmanlike attitude. So I came in here and hit the road running, and so I'm very proud of what we accomplished in the recruiting cycle, even though we didn't have a lot of time, and what we did uh, late summer. And matter of fact, we just added two more players a couple of days ago. So it never stops for us, and we're still going to put a product on the field that's going to be highly competitive, with one thing in mind, that we understand the process. We done put in the work. We are prepared, and we're going out there to compete to come out of there victorious.
Coach, even as you say that, Coach, you get you say you're not making any excuses, Coach, but I'm gonna add another context to the challenge you have before you. You open up this week with Southern.
Yes.
Southern had the benefit of already having played a game under their belt. Unfortunately, they took an L, Coach, and they may be even pretty salty as they travel up to Itabena. How you think that will play into how this game kind of unfolds with them already having a game under their belt, but also with you guys having the chance to see what they put out on the field last week? How do you think that will, play out as far as, is that an advantage for you guys, disadvantage? Would you have liked to have played last week, or how would you have preferred it to? Well, not even preferred. How are you going to deal with the circumstances? That's what we're talking about, Coach. How are you going to deal with what's going on?
We're going to have to handle it. The game, we're going to kick that thing off at 4:00 Saturday, no matter what. Now, usually, just historically, you make the most improvement from game 1 to 2, because all the talk and all the hype has finally hit the fan, right? And you get a chance to see if that guy that you really loved in spring and summer, was it all hype? So that's an advantage that they're going to have that obviously we're not, but that still doesn't stop us from preparing and trying to get the best game plan. Yes, being able to see them last week helps a little bit. So who knows how it's going to play out. We are going to be ready, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, it sounds like you're rip ran and ready to go, Coach. Another thing I want to ask you, Coach. You were a Power 5 guy as a player, and you spent some time as a Power 5 guy as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
What has been an eye-opening experience about being in the SWAC and in HBCU football?
I think the biggest difference is everybody's calling me right now. It's popping up, but I think the biggest difference is money. Right? You look at the Big Ten, the Pac-12 just dissolved a little bit because of the money. The talent is there in the HBCU world, but it comes down to the funding, the stadiums, and I always, I'm telling the guys, we are a first-class program without the big money, the big stadiums, the supercharged locker room, the 2-3 fields. Even though we have 2 fields, just the overall aspect of being funded to the fullest, I think is the biggest difference.
Coach, we got a chance to speak with your offensive coordinator, and he was truly excited about the opportunity that you guys were given as coaches to showcase your talents and abilities and knowledge and experience in a conference like the SWAC. Did you add any other coaches that other than the offensive coordinator that to note after we spoke with you in our interview?
Man, I want to say maybe Coach Edwards, my defensive coordinator, Tony Carter, who I originally had, left and became the head coach at Central State, which is what I try to promote for all the guys, get that opportunity. Young, bright, I think one of the top young minds in Tony. And I want to say Mario Edwards came in after that, who is another Mississippi native that played in the NFL. His son is still currently playing for the Chicago Bears, Mario Edwards Jr.
Former Dallas Cowboy. Shout out.
Yes. And he's done, he's co-coordinator with Coach Smith, Kevin Smith Jr. So I would say he's the only one, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Coach. The other thing, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Campbell here shortly. Coach, the one thing that I've heard about your recruiting class is, and what I've read is that you took advantage of the Mississippi JUCOs and you brought in a number of players from that rich, talented pool of players that exists in Mississippi JUCOs, and some would argue Mississippi JUCOs are the most talented, conference or area of the country when you talk about JUCOs. How were you in such short order able to take advantage of the JUCOs, and what was the plan going in for as getting those guys in school?
I would say just my background in recruiting and the guys I've hired that understand what it takes to be a winner, to have a winning team, that you have to be able to plug and play. And how do you plug and play is you have to get guys with experience. So when you look at what we've done in the JUCO arena, there go another one of the coaches texted me. What we did in JUCO arena was try to plug and play, and also the transfer portal. It's very hard to change the mindset, change culture when you're just dealing with guys that haven't played at this level. You go get a bunch of high school players. Some of them are very special that you want. But just historically, if somebody's already played some type of college ball, JUCO ball, or transfer, they give you that immediate impact. And we need immediate impact. And so we put it together kind of strategically. Young guys, medium-age guys, older guys, grad transfer. So we spent a lot of time on that board. We spent a lot of time watching tape. We spent a lot of time evaling, not just recruiting, but evaling, making sure it was trying to get the right fit.
One thing I can say about the JUCO player, being a former JUCO player myself, Coach, and this is straight up. For a JUCO player, the opportunity means so much to play at a 4-year institution, because just by playing at JUCO, you were taking a chance and betting on yourself. And normally, if those guys can get through 2 years of JUCO, what Mississippi Valley has to offer seems like a resort when you come from JUCO. So they won't be in the mindset of expecting and wanting more, because I'm surely Mississippi Valley is more than where they came from.
And that's the whole thing. The attitude, the mindset is the key to me to everything. You have a player with the right mindset that's going to give you everything they have. I don't want but 100% every time. They're not going to be complaining, and that are appreciative of the opportunity. You have something. And in today's game, that's rare. You 50-50 on some of these young men.
You can go ahead, Steve.
Coach, first of all, I appreciate you being here, but I want to kind of take some things back and talk about some of these players. You coined the phrase last time you came on here, FBI.
Yes.
Football intelligence. Now, you were a former cornerbacks coach at Louisville, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. As they say, you know what it's supposed to look like. Tell us a little bit, if you can, specifically about some of the guys that remained on the team that's showing that FBI, and some of the new guys that you brought in? Because I think what people are trying to understand, because there has been a lot of transition, but what a lot of, and we got a lot of Valley people in already looking at us and things like that, but they want to know who's still around that is giving you that FBI, and who's some of the guys that you brought in that got that FBI on them.
Oh man, the two quarterbacks, Josh Brown and Brandon Nunez, is showing some FBI through tough times, through conversations. You know, what we do defensively is pretty unique, and they have to make the proper read. You know how you disguise, and so FBI means we're gonna show you something and go somewhere else. So can you do that defensively? And then offensively, like the quarterbacks, can you pick that up? Because traditional coaching is, okay, we're going to bring down the safety weak. That means you either throw behind him or you throw front side. You know what coverage you're in. Well, we might bring down the safety weak and be in a different coverage. You know, usually tradition tells you to match the front with the back. What made Belichick so special is we didn't do that. We didn't match their back with the front. We might be doing something up front, showing you a fire zone, but we might be playing cover two behind it. So when you say FBI, the two quarterbacks have shown that. And I would say Prince and Johnnie has a return and got played a little bit last year. His FBI has increased because we didn't ask him, we demanded it. And he just got his jersey number 2. So it was something that's a part of our culture, our fabric, that we're not going to give you anything until you show us that you deserved it. And then if you don't deserve it, you earned it. I would say those two young men have shown that, along with a new guy, Dante Kelly. Dante Kelly is shown that FBI of being able to play multiple positions and understands the proper angle, taking the proper angle, lining up properly. Okay, line up in a spot and get to another spot. So I've been impressed with more than those guys, but just picking those out that they have to do a multitude of things, and you cannot do that if you don't have high football IQ.
Now, Coach, one of the things, and I want to make sure I'm correct. When you and I talked earlier, you told me that you were telling guys you hadn't earned your number yet, or
Yes.
something to that effect. Explain, because I'm going to tie something in that's kind of floating on the internet that I kind of told you about to kind of show what's really going on and the positive about. So kind of let people know when you told me about what that means for those players, when you explain that to them.
Well, most guys want the flashy numbers, right? Or from last year, like, well, I wore this number. Well, this is a new era. If I'm not watching no tape from the previous year, I don't know what number you are. So, and that didn't bother me. How you earn that is taking care of your business in the classroom, community service, and coming out here and giving us 100% every day. If you don't do those things, we went through spring with no numbers. So it was a clean slate for everybody. So if you were the guy, supposedly, then I should see that. If you was the guy that the coach messed over, which you get that too, right? Oh, the coach didn't give me a shot. He didn't do that. You earn that. You earn it. No jerseys. No numbers on the jersey. And I am going to talk about you in one way or another. But guess who gets to decide that? You. Every day, consistency, bringing that, whatever you want to call it. If you want to bring that negative energy, walk around with bad body language, okay, that's what you're going to get in return. We want positive growth type energy. Like, I want to be here. This is exciting. This is exciting for me. I want to learn. I want to be different. We haven't won around here in over 2 decades. So let's change that. New era. First class program. Close the door. That's what it's about.
Well, Coach, I wanted to bring that up. And like I told you, I've known you for a very long time. I know the class and quality, as you know what it looked like. And the reason why I bring this up, because one thing about here in the HBO Coaches Corner, we talk to the coaches. We don't believe in internet chatter. That's not for you to do, but it is for me to also show that our coaches are honorable and know what's going on. So, Rocky, I'm going to pull something up because I told Coach Buckley about this, but we wanted to set the record straight, because one of the things that was floating around the internet, Valley is not a D1 program. They don't have their pictures up and things like that. Well, the coaches tried to tell you there was no numbers assigned for the pictures. So they took their time on their time, not anybody's other time. So I want to pull this quote up, Coach, because we have to let people know that you run a first-class organization up there. Like you told those young men, look up there. Jerry Rice played here, and you could be here. So I'm going to pull this up, Coach, not to belabor the point, but I told the reporter that I was going to have you on and to make sure to clear this up. So, Rock, I'm going to pull this up real quick just to show this for everybody, because people are quick on the internet to say things, and I'm one of those people. Like I say, this is a Mississippi guy. We do things the right way. Rocking that pulling up, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me make sure. And can you guys see that? Right? Can you
make that? I wish I could see that, but these 54.
Rocky, can you make that a little bit? Or I need to make it a bigger.
Yeah, you're gonna have to zoom in on your end, Campbell.
How about that? Does that look a little bit better?
Go ahead, Coach. Okay. Go ahead and read it. I'll read it if you.
I cannot.
Yeah, so this is Blake Levine. And let me be clear. Blake Levine is a reporter out of Jackson, covers Jackson State beautifully. Outstanding. So I want to be clear on that. This is not, but he said, I'm not here to be a hater, but this is disrespect for the game, conference, the fans. They still don't have an official roster up. I don't want to hear that they posted today. They have 0 photos. They have almost no more photos for the coaches. Well, Blake, here's your response. Coach Buckley, you had to earn that number. So that number was not given out and photos taken like the majority of them, because Coach Buckley had just gotten there. So now you have your answer, and everybody that goes to Mississippi Valley's website, all the coaching pictures are there, all the player pictures are there, the schedule is up, and Mississippi Valley is ready to go. So I just wanted to set that record straight, because one thing I don't like, and I know in this hot take era, you know what I'm saying, first take, we kind of want to down people saying, hey, Valley needs to go down to JUCO and D2. No, Mississippi Valley has a lot of pride, and Coach Buckley is going to bring that pride, because you see what I got in the back, Coach. This is the standard that you're chasing right behind.
That's the standard. Also, guys, I don't know if you can see this.
Oh, wait,
I see his dog tag. It says fight, class, discipline, first class, discipline.
First class, discipline, new era, close the door. So we wear this, Mississippi Valley. That's what we do, right? So the number thing, just adding to what you just said. We came in, you have to earn the number. We have over 70 plus new players. In order to get those, you have to eval, put them in the right spot. The first spot you might put them in might not be right. So you keep going back and forth until you get it right. You do it so many times, you can't get it wrong, right? So, like right now, if you told me to jump in my cornerback stance, I have no choice but to get in, bend my knee, slight bend with a flat back. Bend, hands up, getting ready to move, because I put those 10,000 hours in. That's how we approach this. And we don't technically have to have everything up until, I think it's, if I'm wrong, y'all correct me, 2 days before the game. So the plan has always been, once everybody earned their numbers, and by Saturday, half the team had their number. We had one last scrimmage to finish off the rest of the numbers. But the number don't make the player. The picture don't make the player. The player makes the picture and the number. Remember
Let me say this, Coach. Them people down in Jackson, right? The problem is they don't know what y'all got down there in Inner Bend.
Yes.
That's what the problem is. You ain't saying nothing. Your fan base is quiet. And so they want to know what's coming out of in a beamer. And they can't figure it out if you won't let them know anything, Coach. So that's the problem, is that they don't know.
Well, we're too busy up here working. I mean, like the greatest football player ever. We running hills. We getting ready. Walter Payton running hills. The two, you got Sweetness running hills, Jerry Rice training like a madman, right? That's what we've been doing, not just physically, but mentally. We're going to be organized, disciplined, and we're going to give you our best. And that's all you can ever ask for. And sometimes that takes a little longer. Obviously, like you said, I got here end of January. We had to come in here and lay it down. And with the help of the president and now new AD, by the way, she told me to tell y'all hello, Dr. Gaston. This thing is not turning. It has turned.
Well, Coach, I wanted to talk about this, and I got my ear to the street. What I heard, and Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, that several former Mississippi Valley football players got together on a conference call to figure out how the ways they could support you. Can you talk about that and what they're trying to do, and your alumni that's excited to really give you what you need? Because again, as you say, and one thing's right, as him and Coach Coley talked about it, and we'll go to Coach Price. And something about the Florida State quarterbacks. Something about they know what it looks like. They know what it's supposed to look like. So, Coach, let's talk about, because I think what has happened with you know how it goes, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
People like to keep a stereotype going. They always want to keep a stereotype going. They don't never want to hear anything that has changed outside of the norm. So let's talk about those former players that have rallied around you, your alumni base, and even the students that I heard that are wearing buckle up shirts and doing dances and things like that. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Buckle up 2025. The Valley's rising, baby. Let's go. So here's the deal. The alumni has been amazing. The former players have been amazing. I mean, I'm talking about from the new gear, the mindset, because they tired of that. They don't want any part of that. And the reason I'm here is because the president mindset changed. And we sit there and talk. So you won't change? He's like, yes. Well, I'm the change agent. So here we go. And here come the alumni. Here comes the support that you didn't think what was there. The chapters. I mean, it's unbelievable. I just throw out one chapter. Bolivar County up here has been amazing. My hat goes off to the support they've given. The support from the president's office to the new AD. It's all that comes together into the product that you're going to see this Saturday. And we're very excited to show it off. The band, I've developed a relationship with the band director. He was like, whatever you guys want, we give it to you. The women's basketball coach, Coach James. I mean, it's like a little small community. The campus is amazing. We're going to show that off this Saturday. The field, Rice Totten Stadium. Just everything about it has been, to me, been pretty exciting. Challenging, but exciting at the same time.
Now, Coach, did you say, and I heard you say, was there new turf that you say you guys got up there at the stadium?
Yes, yes, it's been turf field for, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the third year.
Okay.
And it's nice. Everybody comes over and they want to participate on it, but it's one of the finest, I think, turf fields in the country. And we have a good time. We also have a grass field here. We call it junkyard. Hey, we had a couple of junkyard days out there. I mean, it was like, okay, we're going to the junkyard. We about to get it on. Let's go. So it was an old school type training camp. And one thing I know about players, if you treat them fair, with respect and dignity, they give you everything they have. and we gonna give them everything they have. At the end of the day, no matter how tough it is, you earn each other respect.
Hey, Coach, I'd like to take time out to welcome everybody on the HBCU Coaches Corner podcast. We're here with the head football coach at Mississippi Valley, Terrell Buckley, also known as T-Buck. But we're about to suspend the stream on the Off-Script channel. And, of course, you can catch it on the Rocky Miller channel as we continue this interview. Go ahead, Campbell.
Coach, one of the things, that we always know that's important is strength and conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about, I was super excited when I learned and found out, let's say ear to the ground. Talk about your strength and conditioning, Coach, and how those bodies up there in Valley that I've been looking at in these videos are changing and things like that.
Listen, it's Valley shape. I always tell them, you can't play this game if you ain't in shape. And if you're not strong mentally and physically. The first thing I told them, we was going to be in Valley shape. And Valley shape is like being in DB shape. DB, and when you're a corner and you in shape, I'm talking about that chest sticking out and you just ready to run all day. That's the type of shape we're going to be in, because it's hard. It's very hard to play this. Body changes. You get bigger. You do all that running, but all of a sudden you done gain 5 or 10 pounds and you can't tell. You look like you slim down. You're stronger. What's the old saying? Bigger, faster, stronger? Well, we bigger, faster, stronger, and smarter.
Coach, with this being your first year as head coach in the SWAC, Coach, what will be the identity of your program? And I know we have the FBI and all of that, but on the football field, what would be some of the signature aspects of a Terrell Buckley football team?
First class, organized, gonna play to the echo of the whistle, gonna give you 100% for 60 minutes.
Well, will you guys? Will you? Okay, let me go. Will you guys be a running team, passing team, pressure team, coverage team? Is there any of those kind of things you want to reveal tonight as to what we? Because a lot of times, you may go in and run the ball 60 times, Coach, and then people are gonna complain. Oh, Coach didn't try to pass. Well, Coach wasn't trying to pass. You understand what I'm saying? Because our identity is to run the football and play tough defense. Those are the kind of things. I want to know what will be the identity. What will you guys try to get done?
Well, when you put in the first class, and then you talk about, I know we said the FBI, but everybody has this, like Nick Saban got to put pyramid. I've been a part of that. They put all these different things on there. All identity comes from that. We're going to do whatever it takes. We are prepared for every situation. If we have to throw it 50 times, if we have to run it 40 times, like you said, the process, what we've done from the moment I arrived, February up until this past Saturday, is preparation meets opportunity. We are prepared for every situation. What we want to do is line up properly, make no mental errors, don't have any pre-snap penalties, and give it to you for 60 minutes, whatever, however you want it. What Coach, I'm taking Coach Bowden's phrase: anytime, anywhere.
All right, hey, Coach, that sounds like a long day and it'll been
That's what we want to be.
Coach, are you allowed to run the Mac drills? Y'all still run the Mac drills up there? Wait a minute. I'm sorry about Coach. Rocky, that's a Tallahassee thing. Let me ask the next question.
Good.
Coach,
hey, don't say that, Ron. Don't say that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry, Coach.
Don't tell James Cozy that.
Oh my goodness, Rock. I'm sorry. Did you have something else?
No. I was just. I know Coach was tough. Cause Coach, I don't know you personally, Coach, and I know Campbell does, and you seem like an awfully nice man. But at the same time, Coach, you seem awfully tough and no nonsense. Will that also be a personality of your team as well?
Well, personally, I am a Gemini. Yes, I don't. When I step on that grass, step between them lines, it's all business. And the competitiveness in me, the competition aspect. Like I tell the players, sometimes you go into as an athlete, you want to show and get people to respect you, right? You play like you're gonna respect me, right? So you go out and you play hard, you do certain things, and they still don't respect you. And the numbers say you should respect me, the way you play. So finally, for me, I got to a point in my playing days that now this is how I coach and tell them, we ain't trying to earn nobody respect. We're going to take it. I don't want no pats on the back. We're going to go out here and take it. And then after the game, we're going to shake your hand. We're going to be the nicest people we could be. We're going to be a first-class team, first-class operation. We don't have to do all that other stuff. When that ball kicks, they blow that whistle, it's go time. For 60 minutes, we're going to give you our best. And that's the life for us. I'm a Gemini. So just as nice as I can be just as nasty. What James Jackson say? Nasty.
Go ahead, Campbell.
Coach, I want to talk about something that I think Mississippi Valley has done that's very innovative, and we'll get into your schedule a little bit, but I want to specifically talk about, and for a lot of people in the conference were shocked, how were you able, or how did the genesis of you moving the FAMU conference game to Atlanta, how was that? Was that something that you kind of thought about, or somebody brought to you and you said, hey, this is a great idea? Kind of talk about how you were able to, and Mississippi Valley, because I want people to understand this is Mississippi Valley's home game. So you guys controlled this opportunity. It had nothing to do with FAMU. It was brought to you all. Okay, you kind of talk a little bit behind that and how that worked out.
Well, the fan base. I mean, we got plenty alumni folks around the country, but in Atlanta, it's packed, and also FAM has a fan base there. So to get opportunity to play in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, pack that thing up, put 40, 50,000 people in there, and they get to see Valley in a different light. Again, this is a new era. This is not the same old Valley for the last 20-some years. This is the Jerry Rice Valley and the Totten. So we want to showcase that. The coaches that are coaching have that experience. They've been at and played at championship level. They've been at places where you get to see how it's done. We want to give all players a different experience, a first-class experience, and not just, okay, we're going to work you, and then we're going to not treat you or show you what it is like on the other side. This is a great opportunity for that. And I'm the Georgia Classic, I'm so thankful and excited that they extended an invitation and allowed us to make this happen.
Coach, now, one of the great things about it, now let's talk about it from the football side, because I think this is a very special event. As we know, Atlanta Metro is a hotbed for high school football.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be utilizing that? I know you can't give kids the tip because it's not on campus, but you'll be able to get in maybe town a little bit early, as you know, you and maybe one of your other coaches, to see some of the high school talent. Is that something that you're going to be looking to do, to be able to put your eyes on some of that talent and create a pipeline from Atlanta up to Intermediate Mississippi?
Absolutely. If you look at our recruiting class, we already have a few from the state of Georgia. So anytime you step out and you playing in a first class stadium against a first class opponent, and you think you first class, you attract first class talent, and that's the new era of thinking, and we're taking advantage of it. Again, hats off to the AD, hats off to the president. the interim AD, Coach Ivory, was instrumental in making this happen. So hats off to everybody involved. And now it's our job to go out and put on the show.
Hey, Coach, you have a former teammate, college teammate that won this conference 2 years in a row. Have you had any contact with him and as to what you should expect in this conference this year, and you know, giving you any, I guess, any insight into how to duplicate that feat?
I don't have to. We don't talk about that because it's in us. I know what he did. We when you coach by the same guy in college and the attitude and you hanging around D, I call him D. It's no surprise. And the difference is you kind of have the same mindset. When you think and you know you are first class and you know what it looks like, it's very easy. It's no secret what it takes. Now, if I had you go out and get a Shador, you go out and get a Travis Hunter, that makes it a lot easier. And that's what D brought to he brings to the table.
Absolutely, Coach. I was just wondering because like that's very unique. And now that you also have a teammate, Cozy, that is also a head coach,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and I think it also almost is a tribute to Coach Bowden as being somebody who influenced all you guys to get into coaching perfection and be, you know,
Mm-hmm.
at the top of your field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what Coach Bowden, what really inspired me, and the reason I want to be a coach and then in turn a head coach, was influence and impact. How he had influence over me and impact was not on the field; it was off the field. I use some of this stuff. We had this practice, or he had this practice. We used to go to two churches in the camp. We go to a black church and a white church, because he wanted to get you to get that experience and the impact of, no matter the circumstances, no matter what the outside noise is, if you have a belief in a higher being, then you don't change. And he never changed, no matter what. Wide right one, wide right two, or national championship. It didn't matter to him, because he knew he was giving his all, but he knew it was something outside of this. And for me, that was like, wow, I would like to be like that one day. And here I am.
Yeah, it must have been something special happening in Tallahassee.
It was something special.
Go ahead,
Coach,
Campbell.
let me ask you this, because we talk about Coach Bob, but the guy that we really know, that really rocky, is Coach Mickey Andrews. And one of the things that was very special at the Georgia Football Classic football conference, and I want to point this out because coaches going to understand this. As they say, Deion set the table, but Coach Buckley in that last end started feeding the food, because he was that guy. And Coach Cozy said, and people, again, we all know Deion Sanders superstar, but Coach Buckley was a superstar in his own right. And Coach Cozy said the reason why I came to Florida State was not because of Deion Sanders, was because this man on the screen, of the level of influence of all those defensive backs. But one of the things, both of them were coached under Mickey Andrews along with Deion Sanders. And one of the things that I heard that I thought could be awesome, because Coach Andrews did go down to Jackson State and say, hey, could we get Coach Andrews to come to the game? And is that something, Coach, that you're going to see if you can, Coach can do? Because I know when I saw Coach Andrews give that level of knowledge to those kids down at Jackson State, I think that would be amazing. Because you're talking about one of the greatest defensive back coaches, then turned into a defensive coordinator of all time. And then, as he said, his guys, the bump and run, that's where that came from. His guys, to perfect that. Coach, is that something that maybe you and Coach are going to see if you can work that out and get them a room and get them up there to talk to the guys?
Oh, that's easy. Coach Andrews, I talk to all the time. And so that will be something, obviously, we're going to talk about. I'm gonna give him a call, and we're gonna try to make that happen. But you allude to something that's very special. The greatest assistant coach ever. I mean, heck, he's only coached Hall of Famers. 2 Leroy Butler just went in. Hall of Famer with a Hall of Famer with numbers, who you're talking to right now.
Absolutely.
So, and then the list goes on and on. Coles, Cromartie, all these different guys that I mean, you talk about putting together a defensive unit from the front to the back. I mean, playing with Marvin Jones and Derrick Brooks. I mean, it don't get any better than that. And watching how Coach Andrews handled those guys along with myself has influenced me in how I coach now. You're going to see some of that. You're going to see some of that Saturday on how we do things as a team.
One thing about you guys that were coached by Mickey Andrews, and I, because I've always wanted to ask someone this question, Coach Buckley. What was it that happened at Florida State where you, Dion, even Derrick Brooks, a number of guys could come out of college and make an impact and be a stalemate on your teams year one in the NFL? What was happening down there where you guys could go make impacts in the first? And I just named those 3 guys, but there were many other guys at Florida State that came in first year rookies and made impacts on those teams. What was going on down there that made y'all so pro ready?
How we practice. And the competition practice was unbelievable. You know, had this saying, if you could do this in practice, if the way we practice, it was easy in the game. I mean, it was competition from first period to 24. And, the recruiting and the evaluating process, too, helped. So if you didn't want to get it done, well, you just look to your right. That was All-American. You look to your left, that was All-American. So the motivation was there for you to perform. And then you just got used to it. This is what we do. This is what we do. We show up and we show out.
Coach, one thing I do know, Coach, since I've been watching the SWAC, this is a coaching conference, Coach. As much as you want to say it, mention all the great players, all the many players that have played in this league. At the end of the day, since I've been watching SWAC the last 5 years, you know who's won this? The best coach in the conference generally wins the conference. When Dion was here, he won the conference. When Coach Simmons was here, he won the conference. And then last year, of course, many people would say T.C. Taylor hands down was the best coach in the conference. Does that give you hope as far as as your team being able to compete, understanding that this is a coaches conference? Game is played by players, but championships are decided by coaches.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Campbell. Hey, and I'll also say this: stay on after Coach Buck. We got 2 coaches already getting into it, and the season ain't even started yet. But Coach T Buck ain't one of them. But go ahead, Coach.
Coach, I want to bring up another thing because I think the theme, and I want people to understand something, Coach. We like to say, and I like to say this. This is for people to understand how great the coaches we have in HBCU land and in the SWAC. And Coach, you're going to understand this being from Pascagoula in our area. There's a lot of people in this stage. They don't realize they have sons, and I know the mother. I'm talking about to the father. And I go into the barbershop and I tell them about the show that we have. And they're like, well, man, my son played at this high school and he want to go to Georgia. He wants to go. And not to say that anything's wrong with that, but I say, you know what? Nothing wrong with going to Georgia. But everybody can't go to Georgia. Won't you watch our show and see some of the great coaches where he can aid? Because what I will say, he'll get a better education at all our schools. That's been proven historically. He will get the coach because of coaches like you that knows what it looks like, but also the opportunity. So what I want to do is I want you to answer that. And then I want to show people again this new valley, because I saw this promo video that I think folks got to see. But Coach, if I'm talking to you because I've got a lot, as they say, barbershop fathers, that their sons are playing football. Tell those fathers and those young and they're watching why they need to come to Miss Valley and play for you.
Well, the bottom line is when you come to the Valley, whoever, a couple things is going to happen. You're going to get that education. That's at the top of the list. Because if I don't have to worry about you on the field, off the field, I'm not going to have to worry about you on the field. And what that means is you're going to be disciplined and you're going to be consistent in your approach. Now, you're teachable. You're coachable. Your mind is going to be right. Your attitude is going to be right. That body language is going to be right. Now we can have that, okay, you step with this foot. Okay, coach, let's go. Bam, you step with this foot. And the other thing, too, about this staff that comes from me, we have patience. I have patience. This is how you tackle. Come over here, same foot, same shoulder, keep that up. Okay, I know we did this for the last 2 days. Well, we're going to do it again. I'm not just going to let you run out there and throw that arm up and clap your hands and be like, oh, I missed the tackle.
My bad.
Yeah, my bad. You're going to be standing over here with me, squeezing the bottle water. I mean, so what we are getting done here is this is how we eval. It ain't just we're gonna throw the guys out there, yell and curse and do all that. No, we're gonna teach, and that allows you to put the best player out there. And I'll tell the guys, be the best version of yourself, on and off the field.
Hey,
we're
Coach,
gonna be the best version of ourselves, you know.
Hey, Coach, we've had our featured host, the legendary Coach SWAC championship coach, my man Johnnie Cole has joined the conversation, and I wanted to give Coach Cole an introduction because I know he was looking forward to this interview, and he just had a conflict. So, Coach Cole, were you able to listen to it at any point before you got on?
No, man. First, I want to apologize to Coach Buckley. You're a legend in this game. You played it the right way. I respect your position. And unfortunately, I coach middle school flag football, and we had a game today and got caught in a monsoon. So I'm still, but I wanted to pay my respects to you and come on to the show because I did ask you to be here. But I respect these two men too that I work with, that they do the right, or they'll do the right thing. But I'm glad you're on. We're glad you in our conference. I think Mississippi Valley knocked a home run when they got you. I know you're a professional. I know how you went about your business as a player. And I'm just happy to be able to come on the show and tell the people who you are and what you're doing in Mississippi Valley. I got one question. Did you watch the MEAC SWAC Challenge?
Absolutely. And I want to say thank you for having me, but absolutely. Preparation, that's what we do. Yes, I watched that.
Yeah.
Yes, it was actually especially the first half, it was impressive. It was some good football on both sides.
Yeah, it was. You got Southern University coming off a losing a game.
Yeah.
And your approach, I guess you guys are working it out now and getting ready to play. What you think about Southern as a whole as a football team?
Well, I would say this, teams make the most improvement from game 1 to 2. And watching the press conference afterwards, they have something that everybody wants, pride. And the coach said it himself when there has to be some things that are fixed. Guys reading their press clippings, which most guys do. and now they're gonna get back to playing ball, which is not good for us. But we're excited about the opportunity. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Well, of course, the history of Mississippi Valley State, and I've been to a couple programs like that, and it just don't run through the football team. It run through the administration.
Mm.
How is the administration treating you, or are you moving the program in the right direction? Or do you feel the program is kind of getting behind your direction?
They get behind. The president has been awesome. I said earlier in the show about looking the president in his eyes, and he said he wanted change.
Yeah.
And I told him I was a change agent, and at every step of the way, he's delivered. When I called, he stepped up. We have a new AD, Dr. Gass, who's also a change agent and a new VP of engagement. So I am very excited about the direction and the leadership that the president is showing, and also the new AD, that they understand what first class means and what it looks like.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have you named a quarterback yet? Or have you
Yes,
guys talked? Have you named the quarterback? Because everybody got two quarterbacks. How many you have, or have you named one yet?
we got 3 quarterbacks.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yes, we kind of know,
Okay.
but we want to wait.
Okay.
You'll see them run out there. So we're pretty excited about all of them.
Yeah.
The old saying, if you got 3, you have none. Well, this is not the case.
Yeah. I want to ask you something about your football life. Did you ever consider HBCU school coming out, or they just didn't recruit you?
Yes, I did. My uncle attended Jackson State, and a couple of my teammates came actually play here at Valley. I sat in the stands, but they really didn't recruit me. I mean, they talked a little bit, but I guess in their mind they felt like, well, he ain't coming anyway. So, which was not. I was open to anybody that talked to me,
Yeah.
but it didn't
I'll be
happen.
truthful. I'll be truthful with you, coach. I've coached in the SWAC a long time. Cats like you, man, we like, hey man, we only got a dollar recruiting budget, man. We don't waste your time on that cat, man. He got everybody in the country recruiting him.
Yeah.
But
I've heard that.
believe it or not, coach, I stole a couple great kids, man.
Hmm.
That thought they were going here and then really bought into the HBCU, the campus life and that kind of thing.
Hmm. Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you this. I did. I felt like I did attend HBCU. I did.
All
I
right, Campbell.
probably spent more.
Now, why is that,
Listen,
Coach? What happened in that city that make you?
Because it's right across the street from where he grew up at.
the set. I probably spent more time on the set than over on at Knoll Country.
Yeah.
I
See,
mean,
hey,
literally,
in
it
Texas
is right
Southern,
down the
coach,
road.
in Texas Southern, we had University of Houston right across the street.
Yeah.
And man, I seen Elijah Wan and Michelle and Clyde Drexler and Rockets. Everybody would come to Texas Southern at 12 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
noon.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had
Yeah.
to share, coach. Just like
Oh
FAMU had to
man,
share.
Yeah.
most definitely.
Well, we spent so much time. It was. I'm telling you, it was like this. That in the summers, that we would do 7-on-7 against the football team. It was. I mean, all of us was pretty tight. Uh, they had one of my boys, Hinton Battle, had a lit rim plays right down the street from the stadium that we should just go over there and hang out. So again, I felt like I did attend the HBCU.
Yeah.
Hey,
Now,
hey,
Coach,
coach.
wait, Rocky, hold on. Because I got to tell this a legendary story. See, that was one of Bobby Bowden's secret recruiting weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Because whereas he would say he would go get a guy, especially the Florida guys, and say, hey, don't go to Miami, don't go to Florida because your girlfriend is going over there to fam. You could be right there with your girlfriend. And see, Coach Bowden knew and he respected, and I'll say this about Coach Bowden. He understood the legacy of Jake Gaither.
Mm-hmm.
He respected Jake Gaither so much. I knew they were friends and things like that. So that was kind of a secret weapon that I knew that Florida State, as they say, Florida State got hot when T. Buck and them boys was there. They were hot. They would get number one recruiting class every year. And it's like T. Buck said, you look up there and you see them guys over there with the set. And also, too, they had a lot of, especially the Florida guys, and he knows that they had a lot of friends that played football at FAMU. So there was a lot of that. That's why you never really, other than one little time, you never heard those guys fighting or going back and forth because they all were boys. They had played high school football with each other and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Going into this game, Coach, what part of your team that you feel comfortable with, and what part that you think that you got a couple more days to get them all going in the right direction?
Well, it's always the timing your pressures, the receiver, quarterback timing, the snap, the exchange between the quarterback and the center, especially if you're doing, if you're getting back, you under the center. So for me, it's that. And I was pretty hard. I was the referee in camp, and I was pretty hard on them. So, and we had to run laps and do things. So I'm not expecting. I would be really, really shocked if we were not disciplined like I expect. But the timing thing is always a concern when you haven't played.
Well, one thing I'll say, Coach Buckley, I watched the game, the Swag Me Egg Challenge, and this is just, I'm being perfectly honest with you, Coach. From your offensive standpoint, your offense. Southern can't stop the run, and they can't stop the pass either. So it don't matter what you do.
Well, you know what? That's who they was playing.
They threw for a lot.
Well, you got to give North Carolina State,
North Carolina
Central, North Carolina Central. You have to give Central a lot of credit because they got good players. So you hope that you have those type of players on your team, but we don't know until we see them.
Yeah.
Now, coming out of the spring and compared to now, you think you're a better team personnel-wise?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You guys picked up people in the summer?
About 70. Yeah. I told him, D said he's bringing his Louis. I was bringing my Walmart bag.
Coach, you said you just bought a whole new team, huh?
Basically.
Well, that NIL budget must be through the roof, Coach.
Hey, it wasn't that. I tell you what, it was the connections, the staff and their connections, and the belief that they had in us, the belief that they know that there was a couple things, there's a standard, and what everybody say, the standard is the standard. Well, our standard starts with education, discipline, first class, and being fair and hard. So that's kind of our approach.
Yeah. Well, sound like you guys are putting something together and trying to put a 10-pound in a 5-pound bag because it's game week this week, baby. It's time to get it.
Hey,
I tell you guys too, game week, the only difference between if you got the right mindset of practice and the preparation and then the game is the fans. That's the only difference. That should be the only difference.
Yeah.
Now, Coach Cole, let me ask you this. This is for Coach Cole, and then you and Coach T-Buck can discuss this. You saw the game last week, Coach, and you saw what transpired in the game. Coach Terrence Graves is coming to Itabena with the mindset that I have to win that game. I have to, or he may not be able to come back, Coach. Have you ever, Coach Cole, have you ever coached under those circumstances? And how does that impact your team, knowing that this early in the season, Coach Gray got one of those kind of games?
Well, first of all, no, I've never been in that situation because of course, I've been on the other side, and that's just the pressure they put on him. I don't think he should take that pressure. But when you're Southern, you're playing Mississippi Valley, you can't get into that. You just got to have your kids ready and prepared. Because I know going down there in Itabena, you can get caught up in the cotton field. Because school, the cotton go around the school. But they got to go in there and ready. And the thing I probably would do is he got some places where he need to correct. The defensive line, they gave up close to 300 yards, got rushed for 178. You don't even want to give up that for a team total. And then offensively, if I was sitting in this spot and had that type of day, yeah, I'd be very concerned if that's what you're asking.
But what I'm saying is, I'm asking you this here, Coach Cole, with that being the situation, how should Coach Buckley have a different approach in that situation? Should he know he's coming down here with a desperate coach? Should he be ready for flea flickers and fake punts and all those kind of things, knowing that a guy gonna go all out because he got to win, Coach? If fans are buts about it.
Yeah. Well, Coach, definitely. I think you feel a little better, Coach, from him coming down as a losing team than a winning team. I know that, but that Coach Buckley's gonna have to answer that question. I would feel better, that he's coming off of a loss, and in the way he lost. And one thing about winning championships is you got to stop the run, and you got to be able to run the ball yourself. And I didn't think they did either. If you take the 2 long runs away. So I think Southern coming down with big concern. And great thing about Coach Buckley, he still on his honeymoon year. He on the honeymoon. So hey, like you say, Rocky, he might come out with the trick plays, the flip flops, the double passes. Because if he get the win, he might sign 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah.
But Coach Buckley, will this be your first game as a college head coach?
Yes.
Wow.
And well, like I tell the players, this is nothing new for me. I've been on that sideline at a high level since I was 15. I've won championships at every level. I've been part of it, right? And played with multitude of Hall of Famers. And one thing I can say, scared money don't make money, right? And being nervous, if you are prepared right, that's when you get nervous. And I think between myself, and they say they take the attitude of the head coach, I don't buy that. I don't buy into that. We only know one way. We're going to prepare. And that breeds confidence in what we're trying to accomplish, and there's no room for all that other stuff.
Coach, that's one of the unique things about this era in college football, Coach. You used to could kind of prognosticate who would win the opening games based on who was there last year, who was coming back, the performance of those players or whatever. But we have so many. With your team, we have a team that is pretty much bringing some of the same players back. Southern, they bringing up some of the same players back from last year. They lost some on defense, but they're bringing back some of their key players, giving some guys on the defense. They brought back the quarterback who played at Jackson State, and also a quarterback who who was on the roster last year, so we kind of know about that, Coach. But your team is just really a mystery, Coach. Like for me, if anyone was to predict a score or an outcome of that game, they would just merely be guessing, Coach. But
Yeah.
they'd be merely be guessing.
Well,
But
they
what,
will be guessing unless they know me, right? They know the staff. They know how we operate. So if you have an idea about that and just looking at the history, not just one season here or there, then you have a good idea of what you're gonna see.
Coach, I get the idea from Coach that you feel pretty good, Coach, about your chances on Saturday, Coach. And I'm glad to see that, Coach, because I'm looking forward to watching a good game between you and Southern and all those young men, all those 70 young men you were able to be that you gave an opportunity to be a part of your program. I'm surely looking to see what kind of players you brought on staff. Because one thing I do know, you do know what it looked like.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right. And you and I both are waiting to see. I'm crossing my fingers too. Hey, that's one of the things that I get very excited about. That the evaluation process. I feel pretty good about that, along with the other coaches, and how to put this together to make it look like it's supposed to look. That's the challenge. That's the challenge, and I think we're up to that. Now we're gonna go see what we've been doing. How does that look? How does that feel? So I'm just as excited as you guys.
Good, good. Well, shoot, Coach, you look like us. You sound pretty good about it. I know it's tough to get kids in the summer, and then you got 20 days, 25 days to get ready for the gridiron.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a tough situation. I know when I did it at Lane, I got there late and we went 0-10, but we bounced back the next 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
73 and 82. So I know you can do that. I read up on your staff. I think you hired some great guys who made some big sacrifices to go live down in Itabena.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I look forward to you guys getting after it. It'd be good for Mississippi Valley to become a winner. They hadn't had a winning season. Maybe one winning season in almost 40 years, 35 years, something like that.
Yes, it's been a dry well.
Yeah. So look, only place you can go is up.
Hey, you would hope, but hey,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
you've seen, that was you talk about a long time. So every year is that hope. But
Yeah.
but I think what again, this new era, the difference is that obviously who's running the ship, who's in the evaluation process, and the assistant coaches being with the same type mindset and understanding what it takes. Not just talking about being a winner, not just talking about being a great player, but challenging yourself every day to bring the best version of yourself is what it's about.
Yeah.
And the structure, like understanding these are the qualities that produces winners.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
And that's what we do. I mean, there's no shortcuts.
uh,
Great
Coach,
condition, mentally, physically, football IQ. And I think one of the biggest things that a lot of that you guys have not asked is the football IQ part is so important because you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to adjust. And I want to have the ability to adjust if I have to after every series, during the play, obviously at halftime, third quarter, fourth quarter.
you know, you know,
Uh,
you, I use the word cerebral.
mm-hmm,
And I know in Hall of Famers and great players, when you talk to them, they cerebral. All y'all are good on the NFL as far as physical wise, 40 jump high. Are you a cerebral player? Are you doing what everybody do? what has to do with your position and the total defense or your offense. I need to know what the line do, why they do it, receivers do, why they give us equipment. When you get those type of guys and get a bunch of those, it's pretty much like you're saying, to be able to make adjustments on the field, when you have to. And I get that, So I just use the word cerebral.
Yeah, and the other thing too is what Herm Edwards said. You play to win, and I have no issues with. And I did a little bit. D did it in pros. If your best players can help you on offense or defense, use them. Use them. I'm not gonna have, okay, he's our best player over here, but we're gonna play with our 6 best players. No, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it. I'm excited about it.
We just had that conversation, didn't we, Rocky?
Yeah.
You was just asking me about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Got to play the guy who's gonna get the job done. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on, man, and I look forward to what time the game start?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Well, we're on SWAC TV. They might push it back to 4:05.
Now, Coach, before we let him get out of here, because I would not be doing him justice, because there are a lot of great things that they're doing on social media, and I know Coach is going to appreciate what I'm about to show. So, Coach, before we let you go, there's 2 things I want you to address. Because I really like this. I'm gonna share my screen again because I'm really excited about what I saw here. Let's get this.
Coach, is he singing Atlanta too?
No.
Like Coach Jackson.
Let's see. I think this is it. Let's see.
I'm singing that Valley is Rising.
No, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's see if that's this the one. Am I sharing that, Rocky?
I'm gonna share it now.
Okay, wait a minute. No, this is not the one. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me stop this. I'm going to come to that one. Come back to that one. Hold on. Not one time.
Well, you got some legends behind you, boy.
Yes, he does.
Listen, Coach know, like I say, he's a legend, so we had to put it out there. Okay, so Coach, here we go. I think we got this. I think we got this right. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, look at that.
All right. Now, Coach, first of all, is that you on that horse? Let's start there.
Absolutely. I spent a couple hours out there. Yes, that is me.
All right, Coach. Tell people about the Buckle Up Challenge. I thought this was very innovative what you guys did here. Tell them about the Buckle Up, because I think this ties into you buying season tickets. And I know that's one of the big things that we really want people to buy season tickets. So, Coach, tell people about that Buckle Up Challenge and what that's about and what they're going to get.
Well, they're going to get a show. It's like going to Six Flags or Disney, right? You buckle up when you're going down, you're going through the roller coaster, you're doing all that. That's what we're going to do on the field. It's going to be pure excitement. So the Buckle Up Challenge is getting the fans in. We have themes for every game. It's whiteout. This is whiteout this game. So just branding and bringing excitement to a Valley State football game in all aspects.
Coach, I see you got that cowboy hat on, man. What's up with those Florida State guys in cowboy hats, man?
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. That's my wife's hat. I borrowed her hat.
Beyonce hat, Coach. That's you
Yes,
with the Beyonce.
yes, Carter.
Cowboy Carter.
Yes, Cowboy Carter too, and we got the boots. You got everything. The buckle.
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
You gonna play it, Campbell?
Yeah, now I'm getting out. Well, now this is the next one I'm gonna show. This is the one, and this one. Hey, listen. So, Coach, we got coaches. We got coaches in this conference that like to talk about their social media and things like that. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, Coach. I saw this one. And I think this was really. Let me pull that up, Coach, and hopefully we'll be able to hear that sound on this.
All right, bye. You still?
All right, Rocky, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hopefully we'll be able to hear the sound on this, because this was pretty impressive. So this is from once again, follow Valley State FB. That's their official football Twitter. But I saw this and I said, wait a minute now, Coach. Here we go.
Let's go. You ready? I'm telling y'all, the ball is in his hands. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Go, fight, win. You know we back at it again, trying to turn up the city. We deep in the blend. In that field, all we got is our team, so we put it together and ride to the end. At the end of this year, I'm just making it clear. Me and Mike gonna be bringing it in. We bringing it in. Go, fight, win. You know we back at it again, trying to turn up the city. We deep in the blend. In the field, all we got is our team, so we put it together and ride to the end. At the end of this year, I'm just making it clear. Me and Mike gonna be bringing it in. Hey, go, fight, win. I took out my licks to the chin just to put my whole team in.
Come on, Coach. Hey, come on, social media.
You like it?
Man, listen, now, Coach, listen. Now, you know, like you say, you was in that Dion. You was a fly guy for Pascagoula, Mississippi. Coach, did they come to you and tell you that they were doing this, or or did you just see it like, okay, this is what we're doing? How did that come together? And I'm gonna say this too, Coach. That goes back to that strength and conditioning. Them guys look cut there, Coach.
Yes, they did. You see, only one had a number on too, so don't forget that. But the lyrics and all that goes to what we're about. We're gonna fight because we got a goal in hand. But this media campaign started when I got here with the brand and getting the right people on board. And the young man that runs the Valley football page for us is awesome. If you just go back and see all the stuff that's happening, it's about family, competing, but never losing sight of why we're here. Right? Get their education and then go out and win ball games.
Hey, Coach, I noticed.
I'm gonna button this up because like I said, I did that to set up the thing. So I want Blake Levine, WJTV, understand that Valley has got everything ready to go. And you can watch it right here on HBCU Coach's Corner. Because I'm gonna send them this link again, Coach, to let them know that we got something going good up there in a minute. All right, Rocky. That's my
no. What I was gonna say, the thing that I noticed in that video is, Coach, y'all were tackling to the ground in practice. What was that all about? Because because one thing, and you can say this about the first game of the season, the SWAC MEAC Challenge, there was some tackling mishaps in that game, and it cost both teams some points. So is that something? And Trey Oliver said, he didn't do many tackling drills when at North Carolina Central. I don't know if that was to make sure guys stayed healthy or whatever, but obviously you guys were tackling to the ground, so you expect your guys to get them on the ground when they make contact with them.
Yes. I mean, it's an evaluation period, and obviously, if you have an established team, then sometimes you don't do as much. Well, we didn't have that, so we had a bunch of new guys, and we had to figure out who could do what. Because as every coach knows, you get a lot of guys like to talk that talk, but don't want to walk that walk. And so we wanted to find out who was going to talk that talk and walk that walk.
Coach, last thing, did you come out of camp pretty healthy?
Yes, relative. It's one of the weirdest things. When we went live, nobody got banged up. But when you go thud or you go whiz, you got half the guys on the ground, and you're like, "Why are you on the ground? We whizzing. You tripping over people." It's like it's amazing how that happens.
Well, Coach, we played in the era that all those two terms that you just mentioned, that wasn't even a thing.
No,
it was either live or you were walking through. That was the only two things.
Man, we had board drills. Oh, it was them board drills. Get on that end, and just bam into each other. Like, what are we doing?
Absolutely, Coach. Coach, hey, you've been gracious. I appreciate the time that you've given us, Coach. You are a great interview. You're insightful and knowledgeable. And I must be honest. My sister is a Southernite, but I will be hoping that Mississippi Valley makes a good showing on Saturday, and I'm gonna be rooting for you guys, Coach, because I think the SWAC needs you because of quality coaching, quality men are what this conference desperately needs. I'll just put it like that.
Well, thank you so much, and our job is to go out and put on the show and give you 100%. That's what you're going to get. We're going to look first class. We're going to play first class, and no matter what happens afterward, we will be first class, one way or another.
Campbell, you got anything for you?
No, I just want to tell you, to my homeboy, I'm proud of you. You know, we're rooting for you for the success because, like I say, when Mississippi Valley does good, the whole state does well. So, like I say, I'm super excited, and I'll see you when you come to Atlanta. You know, me, you, and Coach Coles will chop it up. But like I say, I just wanted to, again, let you know we are here to support you. And, Coach, anytime you got a big announcement, make sure you text me or Coach Cole because we want to keep promoting what the great things that you're doing up there in Mississippi Valley.
Hey, thank you, guys. Buckle up. 2025, the Valley is rising. Let's get it.
If you get the upset, can you give us 5 minutes on Monday?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that, Coach.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Coach.
Take
care. Thank you.
All right.
Take care, man.
Hey, he said he'll give us 5 minutes, Cam. I'm gonna put you on that if they get the upset.
Oh man, listen, you know we gonna get more than 5 minutes because we breaking that whole all that film down, and I'm gonna get Perry White. They gonna have to cancel out Spoke. Well, now hopefully we get them on Tuesday. I was about to say if we get them on Monday, I thought he said Monday,
we get them on Tuesday. Boy, hey,
I'll catch up with y'all guys.
Okay, for sure.
Okay.
One thing about it, Coach. One thing about it, if for some reason Southern gets upset, we won't have to worry about getting an interview from Coach Graves next year. That's for sure.
Well, what I'm going to say is this. I think this is a good test for both teams. This is where I will believe it's a measure stick game for Coach Buckley. You know what I mean? See what it is. And I think in fairness to Coach Graves, and this is what happens a lot. First of all, let's be clear. Because I think we've been hard on Southern. I think a lot of people, but they play a excellent team on Saturday. Let's be clear. We're talking about
no doubt,
preseason potential national championship team. So we do have to look at that. What I want to do as a SWAC guy, I want SWAC teams to compete because I want all my SWAC teams to win. So that's for me. I want Southern to be so. I want every game that a SWAC team plays to be a great game. So I think for Southern people, you got to understand that we all have a duty. It's no different than FAMU. You know what I mean? I want FAMU when we go out there and play North Carolina Central. Hey, we represent the SWAC. So we got to get them boys at it, just like we play South Carolina State that knock. So that's the whole thing about it.
One thing I will say about the game, neither team gave away the game. You know what I mean? No. Neither team gave away the game. It wasn't a lot of turnovers. It wasn't a lot of miscues. And for that matter, to me, it wasn't even a lot of penalties in that game. We just had one team that seemed like it was very prepared, and we knew that they were a veteran team coming into the game, and they were, they played the best from the start. They were even able to make adjustments at halftime, and so I don't think it was any surprise to anybody who knew ball that NCCU would win the game. So for Southern to come in expecting a victory in that situation, in that venue, in those circumstances, I think that was a bit naive. The most that, in my opinion, that they could hope for in that game is a chance to win. And, after the second long touchdown, they weren't able to muster up much offense. And so I think they, in fairness to Coach Graves, the team seemed prepared to play and ready to play. I don't think there was a lack of effort or anything like that. I just think they were being nickeled and dimed by an offense that was executing at a very high level, and they just weren't able to stop them, Coach. They just weren't. Steve, they just wasn't able to stop them, man. And I think, and to me, I can't even evaluate their offense fairly because by the second series, they were under so much pressure to score, because it would have been 14-7 had what's the guy name? Walker Harris not fumbled the ball in the end zone. You know what I mean? So at that point, Coach Frederick, the offensive coordinator, knew that he was going to have to score, put points on the board, because there was at no point in that first quarter did you see any chance that they showed any capacity to stop North Carolina Central in the first 15 minutes.
I think, that's a testament to two things. A, on HBC Coach's Corner, one of the things that was pointed out was that offensive line that Central had. Homegrown and experienced all-conference players. That's the first side of it. The one thing that we also talked about, we had the SWAC Defensive Player on the Year in full view. We wanted to see what he was going to do against all-conference talent. Looks like, hey, those boys put it on him. So one thing I want to see is them to move Givens around, do some twists with him and Malone. Malone's a great player at that linebacker, at that second level linebacker. So I want to see him, maybe Malone get over his shoulder. They do some twists and things like that. And, one of the things, and like EA said, they want to, well, of course they want FAMU to lose, but that's the thing. That means you're good. If they want you to lose, that means you've proven something. So that's the reason why I say that. But my point of it is we want these teams to be good because we want to come on here, Rocky, and talk about good games. I want the games to be compelling. I want it to be, I don't know who's going to win. So that's the thing about when I'm talking about Southern being good, and also about Mississippi Valley. I don't want any game in the SWAC to be a gimme. I don't want you just looking at check it off. So one thing I like, and listen, we had him right here on Coach's Corner. Coach Buckley is not no loser. Be clear on that. So that mentality, he doesn't even function like that. So you already know, no matter what, far as talent-wise, the mentality is going to be totally different of going into each one of these games. They're going to play hard, they're going to play smart, and they're going to put themselves in a position to win some games this year. I really believe that just from the coaching staff that he's put together, just for the players, and just the mentality.
One of the things that kind of got me is I asked Coach Graves in the press conference, did he regret not giving Holly the ball more than 10 times, even though he had, running for over 10 yards a carry? A lot of that was in an 80-yard run. Don't get me wrong, but still, with that being said, he said no.
That was the most baffling thing to me when you asked that question. And what I didn't understand, because here's the thing, to your point, while he got a lot of his yards on that play, what that means is you keep giving it to him to hope you get another play like that. When you get a guy, because what he does, he puts so much pressure on your defense. When guys are looking for him, then guess what? On that backside wide receiver, hey, man, listen, we got that guy on the street because we're all looking for this guy to break wide. So those are things that I think for Southern, it was two things that concerned me. That he said the guys were reading their press clippings, and the player next to him said, oh, yeah, we thought we were all that. That's coaching. That's mentality. So for you to come in a game and you don't see or you don't have a feel of your team, that concerned me. So I think that's something that he needs to address and let these guys know that this game that they're going to be playing Saturday is going to be a dogfight. Well,
one thing that was kind of, and you and I talked about it, Steve, is that for Southern to be ranked the fifth or higher ranked team in HBCU football, that was a mistake by anybody who was doing the ratings.
I think they were ranked ahead of FAMU, weren't they?
Yeah.
And there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, we knew that was a mistake. But based on the fact of what they've shown us last year, based on what they added this year, again, you can say what you want to. Jalen, and I know they're very high on Jalen Woods, but the fact of the matter, he doesn't have a resume that proves that he can play football at this level. And literally, the quarterback you added to your roster was Jackson State's third-team quarterback. And some would say him and Trey Holly were two players you added. If y'all didn't have those players, y'all would have got zippoed. So what is at Southern? What is there? What is there?
Well, here's the thing. and I think Southern people will understand this. Southern, and this is what, to me, I've seen this, and I always like to use your line, the prime era, right? Because this is when everybody's watching, but I think this is important to use that. Southern has shown that they got fast guys, athletic guys. What Southern has not shown is that they've been able to put the ball in those playmakers' hands consistently to win on offense. That is what Southern has been inept offensively for, as getting their explosive plays.
4 years straight.
Yes.
I've been watching them.
And that is to me, when you see,
4 years straight.
Those receivers, you can see, hey man, listen, that quarterback on Central, that boy got burns on him.
They had to take him out the game, bro. They had to take him out the game.
Yeah. So you can see the ability that they have. You can see the big play explosive. But the thing about this, and Cam McCoy, I think, and I'm saying this, I believe the kid is talented, but he is the one, he did TC the same way. I think he's one of those all-time practice players that he's just killing people in practice, and you're just like, man. And I think what Woods did was give Coach Graves an out to bench him, because McCoy had been doing these special things, but I think Coach Graves was loyal to Woods, and that's why he was going to start.
Well, again, I don't think, without a dominant offensive line, I don't think Jalen Woods and Cam McCoy can run the same offense. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
So I think you have to have an offense that is built around Cam McCoy's skill set, Coach. Like, I think what they started out doing at the beginning of the game, running those jet sweeps and actions off those jet sweeps, could have got them something in the game. You know what I mean? Like, he was really effective scrambling the football, and also and he had some guys open that were missed or passes were dropped. You understand? So I think there was Southern left a lot of meat on the bone in the first half. What's more troubling for me offensively is what was after adjustments. They weren't able to muster up very much at all on the ground or through the air in the second half.
Hey, Rocky, pull up. JD said game one will not be SU's narrative. And now I find, okay, so again, they always say you improve in the second game. But then what I'm going to ask you, JD, and I'm assuming that you're a Southern guy, and I'm assuming that you're probably a smart football or person. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, so let me say it respectfully. But what is it that you saw that you haven't seen the last couple of years that would make you think this team is going to be better? Because the key for Southern is to be better than the last year's team, because that doesn't get you. See, I think Southern people, you're aiming too low. You're trying to win the SWAC championship. Don't tell me about that West stuff anymore. So what have you seen, or do you see something where, okay, this team is better than last year that will allow us to beat the Jackson State and the FAMUs and the Alabama States, which we have not beaten over the last 4 years, and to be a SWAC champion? So that's the thing, because, see, to me, the narrative is the same. I see the same Southern. I didn't see anything that was like, yeah, they coach better. Yeah, I can see what they're going to do offensively. So, again, I'm just asking, and again, I'm saying this respectfully, because if you play like this against Jackson State, I'm telling you, it's going to be the same thing. You play like this against FAMU, it's going to be the same. And those are the teams you got to beat, because I'm going to tell you why this is important, Rocky. We talked about this. Those are 2 conference games. So you guys could lose one in the West, lose those 2 games, and still lose to somebody else lost 2 games in the West. That's why it's important that you all improve and make sure that you're ready to beat Jackson State.
You know what? I'll even say this, and this is without have seen Jackson State play. But if they play like that against Jackson State, I don't think they have a chance to win at all. They don't have a chance to win. The other thing is, you have to realize that, in my opinion, Prairie View is going to be better just based on the transfer portal information alone. They're going to be better. You got to realize they're still going to probably be able to beat UAPB. That's going to be a win. I think they play Mississippi Valley. That's going to be a win. That could be a win. We really don't know what Valley has. But they're going to and here's the kicker, and you pointed it out. I don't know if you weren't live when you said it, but we may have been in the Escalade just rolling when you said it.
Watch out now.
But the fact that Prairie View doesn't have to pay Valley or Jackson State for a home game, put Southern behind the 8 ball to the point to where they could really have a good season and still not make it to the SWAC championship. Just by virtue of the fact, if they lose to Prairie View and win all the other West games, they end up, 5-3 at that point?
Right.
And they still don't make it to the West championship. So, again, I think Southern's margin for error is much smaller than it was last year.
Oh,
much smaller.
100%. 100%. And that's the thing when I'm talking about improvement to move to the next level. As they say, there's a joke being SWAC good. Well, you can't be just SWAC West good. You got to move from that level because you've proven that you can beat the team in the West. You are Southern. You know what? Grambling is down. So the two big dogs in the West, well, and I had Alcorn, that no disrespect. So the 3 big dogs, Grambling, Southern, and Alcorn. Grambling's down. Alcorn is trying to figure out. Southern, you've been in 2 of those and recently last year. So the question is, again, where do you see the improvement for them to, again, as JD said, they need to split those games. So basically you need to win those games to get back to where you're trying to go. Because, again, you can't be in a situation where you're constantly, hey, man, getting to the Celebration Bowl is a big thing. Getting to Atlanta is a big thing. Southern brought a lot of people there. Central did not. Southern brought a lot of people there. They only had 15,000 people there. But I will say this, and Southern people, I am curious about this. Do you all see this season we're going to wait? Because I thought Southern was just going to come in there with 20,000 people coming to Atlanta. But I feel I think they putting their gas in them RV to say, hold on, we're going to wait a second to see what the schedule look like before we just roll out and spend all this money.
Well, this is what I will say about the Southern schedule. They have some great games at home, Coach. They have some great games at home. And so you could get a great experience in just supporting them at the home games. You know what I mean? When you look at having FAMU and Jackson State at home, just think about this. Say you were a Southern alum. Say you were a Southern alumni and you lived in Memphis, and you can come to 2 games. Would you rather come to 2 games on campus, or come to the Atlanta game? I would probably rather come to 2 games on campus.
Well, when you're talking about those 2 games, especially Jackson State and FAMU, those games you want to be at. So those games have proven to be big-time games and close games. Unfortunately, Southern's been on the wrong end of the stick. But listen, I want to be clear and respect Southern. Those have been some great games down in Baton Rouge between Jackson State and FAMU. Because we had a legendary game when Willie said, we're going to run this ball in. We're not going to be denied. And then, of course, when that pass that Shador made to Weidman to win that game, and then Shador intercepts the ball at the game. So we've seen some great games down at Southern that I think people are going to your point, would definitely want to see. And again, Southern plays well at home.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm surprised about is that not as many people from Atlanta go to the game. Like in my opinion, I thought the game would be supported by more people locally than it actually was. It wasn't what it seemed to be not a lot of Atlanta people there. It seemed to be mostly Southern Knights and people from North Carolina Central coming to the game, and not many. And you explained to me that's not a anomaly. That's usually how the SWAC MEAC Challenge generally is attended by both teams that are in the game.
Yeah, I think the one thing that they're just not tapping into, and I don't know why, and I know they got to have the tickets and stuff, but I just do not understand why they don't empty them high schools and get those high school and junior high kids in there. $10 tickets, or, if you bring your parent, the kid gets in for $10 just to get those kids in there to experience. Because I think, again, if you get those kids in there, because I'll tell you that, and people from Jackson will know this, man, going to the vet, man, that was the thing. You know what I'm saying? You talking about 40,000 people, hell, 15,000 were kids. You know what I mean? They came with their parents because you're going to run around and see all your buddies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Again, so I'm pretty sure the same thing down in Baton Rouge. A lot of people bring their kids. They reading their buddies from high school and junior high and elementary and stuff. So I just think that they got to do a better job, even with the Orange Blossom class, where you've got to get these junior high and high school kids in this game and enjoy, and again, to teach them that.
So let me ask you this.
Don't say all up in the yeah, so exactly, bro. You don't listen. You know, Rocky, right there. That's when you met your girlfriend at that you boy, because that way everybody couldn't see you. You get your little kiss on up in there. You absolutely.
Let me ask you this here, Steve, and Zoe can, if he could type it and answer it. When you go from playing the best team in HBCU football to a team that's projected to be one of the worst teams in HBCU football, are you then worried about a letdown by your team that leaves you guys vulnerable in that situation?
Well, see, this is the thing that's interesting about this, and this is why I'm concerned about it. Because if I'm Coach Graves, of course, you know how that. I would say, okay, guys, we play them to a standstill the first half, then have a way. That's a good team. You're giving us a good team we're playing. We're going to handle business up at NLB because it's not a conference game. I would say it because I would use that. And you know what I'm saying? We got to win this game. It's a conference game, but it's not. But it's still a SWAC game. And I say, we're going to handle business. We're going to clean up. And I expect us to play much better when we go up to Mississippi Valley. That is my thing. And get these guys on the left because guys, again, somebody put in the chat, if you mess around and lose that game, and I don't know, Rocky, can you pull up the Southern schedule?
Yeah, okay.
Because let me tell you why this
pull it up? My computer's moving slow. And
okay,
so
you
I
want
don't
to pull up?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get that.
And I don't want to get hung up or anything.
No problem. But that, again, when you look at that game, what is going on here? What am I doing? Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see something. Why am I having a problem? I'll keep pulling. Okay, let me see. I got a hotkey must be going on.
You know, that's one of the, because that's would be my concern about having not, I mean, the Southern fan base was expecting big things from this team. They're obviously expecting big things from this team. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, and even made appeals on Terrence Gray's behalf to the Southern fan base that, hey, man, don't put all this pressure on this guy. This is year 2, right? He doesn't have an established quarterback. He's had to rebuild the offensive line. They're actually struggling in the interior defense, yet the Southern fan base still expects them to compete for a SWAC championship. I just think that's unfair considering the circumstances.
Well, you say, okay, what is going on? I think, all right. I think I got it. I don't know what's going on here, but hopefully.
Bro, I'm not making excuses for them. That's just the situation. They don't have an established quarterback on their roster. They don't.
So let me make this a little bit bigger. Oh. All right. So can you see that? See that?
Yeah, I do.
Now you look at this. If they will lose the Valley, right? Now you're talking about Alabama State and Mumford. Do you lose to them? And Fresno State and Jackson State, they literally could mess around and be 1, 2, 3, 4, 0-5 if they lose the Valley. And at best, could be, well, at the least be 1-4 going in that Bethune-Cookman game and then turn right back around to homecoming, and you got Prairie View and FAMU, and that's your season right there. It could be over with by the FAMU game. So that's why this is important.
I said this. They had a 4-game stretch after Fresno that their season could be over before Halloween.
And I'm assuming this is the 4-game stretch you're talking about right here.
No. This one right here. Yes.
Jack State, Bethune, Prairie View, and FAMU. All SWAC games. But at home,
Yeah.
All these games, and then the 2 bottom feeders that you get on the road. But like again, Bethune-Cookman is a tough out down there. Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, I mean, you would know about that better than I would. I don't expect anything from Bethune-Cookman.
So that's the thing about it. So when you're looking at it, so this is what I'm talking about. A 1-0 schedule about focus. So again, their focus has got to come in here and say, hey, this Valley game, while again not a conference game, which is very important for them, but is again, because see, I'll tell you this, the difference, and every game is lost. And I'm gonna use us. We lost the Valley, right? We lost the Valley, but we
y'all had 6 wins when you lost the Valley.
Exactly. So we kind of were in the season and kind of knew what we were. We had lost Valley early in the season, like that. Oh, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. So that's why things matter where they're set up. So again, I don't expect, and again, I'm not one of those people. And I've heard people saying, "Oh, Southern's going to lose the Valley." Now, I don't believe that. I think Coach Buckley's got to get his team together. I think it's going to be a challenging game. But I think Southern should win that game. But the rest of those games, listen, they better be ready.
Now, Steve, let me say this. Now, Zoe agreed with me that that's a must. That the game in Valley is a must win. Now, let me add context to the game, though. It's not a conference game, so even if they lose, they can still achieve all of their objectives. And of course, it's not a home game, right? But I just still believe it's a must win.
Yeah, well, see, the people say, "Oh, well, it's you can achieve." No, what that does is showing what your team is. See, it's exposing. It's no different than with us, and I think this is the grit. FAMU had played that whole season. We lost to Prairie View the week before, I believe, because Richardson got hurt. You come into the Valley game, but it finally crept up that made out we can't score the football. That's what it was. We can't score the football. That was the problem. So when you looked at that, it's the same thing here. If they go up there and they just run an RPO left, RPO right, can't throw the ball, you think it's going to get any better? It's going to be 2 games. All of a sudden, the quarterback is going to show from the heavens? No, you're going to be what you are. Just like what we were on our defensive front. We are what we were. There's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. So, I just think that Southern, for them, I think they got to be honest. I think the coaches got to be better, again, and I think they got to, defensively especially.
Yeah, Steve. I think Southern got their work cut out for them. Again, I was really excited. I thought they were really going to put on a challenge. You was up there with me. I was actually rooting for them. I was hoping that they could somehow, after all that stuffed shrimp and greens and fried chicken I ate for the over Michelle's house, man. We had.
Now, wait a minute. Now you can't just say who is Michelle. What is Michelle? That's what you have to say.
Michelle. Oh, she's a dancing doll and former Miss Southern and my sister's best friend.
There you go.
So she provided a great spread for Mr. Campbell, myself, Coach Cole, my nephew. Man, we just sat down and had a great time. And one thing I will say, man, for all my life, those people from Baton Rouge, down in Baton Rouge, have always known how to throw a party, how to be hospitable, and provide a tremendous environment. The game environment was tremendous, if you ask me, man. And I hate I didn't go a chance to go see the fan experience over there, because I know it was out of sight. We saw all those people arriving at the game late, so we know it was.
That's where they were at.
That's where they were at, man. But But I like I say, I'll definitely give the SWAC this year's SWAC MEAC challenge. I've been to 2 of them. To compare it to last year, I like both of them, Steve. I thought they both were outstanding. I thought they were the environment was second to none. The people were great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's something I look forward to coming back to each and every year, no doubt.
Well, I think it's great. It's well put together. The stadium is right sized, you know what I mean, for it to have engagement from the crowd. Again, of course, it's Atlanta. It's a good weekend. Some people's kids have started school. Some people just started school, things like that. Kids are just getting back. So again, shout out to Southern's fans. They came, they showed out. Hey, shout out to you know what? The jukebox was the jukebox. They won the band competition. We always got to say that. The jukebox was jukebox. So,
I don't know nothing about the band, but wouldn't you say North Carolina Central came with great energy though? Because they put on one heck of a show while they were in the stands, weren't they? I thought so anyway. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you can always play more when your team is scoring more.
No, I'm just talking about before the game. When we were down there as they were warming up,
right.
As the bands were warming up and they were playing Petey Pablo and all that other music they were playing, I thought they put on a great show. I mean, I thought they were energized and they were up for the challenge against Southern, to be perfectly honest with you. What did you think?
Well, I think they did well in the stands. I think the field show is where that they're lacking. I think their field show had a lot left be desired. But, our band insider said that they're an up-and-coming band. They got a young band director that's 27 years old. Shout out to that young brother. He's a graduate from Delaware State. So, man, listen, every part of the aspect of a football game for HBCU is important. The band, the cheerleaders, the fans, the football game, the atmosphere. So, again, it was a great atmosphere. I was excited. I mean, it did feel like a heavyweight fight in there. It did. You kind of – and I think, Rock, you kind of alluded to that. We're down on the field. You can see the guys kind of taking this serious. A game start off exciting. You got big plays. It's 14-14. You're going to have, what was it, 17-14 going into the half, right?
Yeah.
So, I think that, but again, like I say, Coach Trey Alpha, who's the best in the business, show why he is the best in the business, why he got one of the best teams, HBCU football.
And this is a picture Coach Cole had. For those of you guys may not know who those gentlemen are. I believe the guy in the blue shirt, he owns a local restaurant in town. And then, of course, the guy in the southern white shirt, that's none other than Pete Richardson. And the legendary Pete Richardson. We got a chance to meet and talk to him, man. That was had you met him before?
I had not. That was a big honor for me.
First time meeting him. And he was very personable, and he was very candid. I won't repeat what he said, but he probably said it on the air. But he was very candid about his evaluation of the game, and man, he's sharp as a tack. I don't know how old he is, man, but he looks real good, and he looks like he's in great shape.
Listen, and I'll tell you what, I think the man I think he's owner of the legendary Chicken Shack down there in Baton Rouge.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that's like I say, man, we had a great time, man. It's just unfortunate. Let me see. I just wanted to show a few other things, Steve, because we did do a little work while we were down there.
No, absolutely. But while you're doing that, I think one of the things, guys, and I'm curious to to hear the people in the chat. If you had to the worry scale, as some people say, I've heard other channels say, oh, the people are jumping off the bridge or anything like that. So to my Southern people in the chat, just evaluate out the first game. And 10 being very worried. Give me a number in the chat where you think your worry meter is at. Is it 1? Hey, I'm not worried. We're going to be fine. Is it 5? We'll just have to let the season play. Or is it 10? Like, hey, man, we're going to have a new coach before homecoming. That's what I'm kind of curious about. Because my worry meter, I'm just going to tell you, I'm at a 7. I'm just being honest. I'm at a 7 because I just want to see that defense really be dominant when you got I want defensive player of the year to be defensive player of the year. I want to see a James Houston, Aubrey Miller, Isaiah Land,
Major, Isaiah
Major, Marquise Bell type play. I want to see that. Bubba from Alabama State. I want to see that type of defensive dominance when you get that label on your chest. And I want to see that.
Yeah, we
said they're going to be at an 8.5.
Like I said, we met some really cool dudes, man. Some guys in that are truly, like I say, really, really cool dudes, man. We saw podcasters down there. We saw we were down there on the field talking to coaches, talking to administrators, man. We even had a chance to have a brief encounter with a guy from the SWAC, man, Andrew Roberts. He shook our hand and spoke with us, man. It was really cool to be down there, and it's just I wish more people could have that experience, because I think. So let me ask you this: why isn't the SWAC MEAC Challenge more of a cultural event that people come to and hang out and kind of get to know each other, like maybe like I don't know, the Celebration Bowl or maybe a classic of some sort? Why isn't it as popular as I think it? I think it should be really popular, but it doesn't seem like, because it's bringing two worlds together. Seem like should be really popular for the culture.
I think that honestly, and you got to look at. Let me see if I can find. Hold on, Rocky. I think I put this up. I'm gonna text. Let's see here. How can I do this? Because some kind of way my browser is acting up where I can't. Because I wanted to show. Let me see the attendance. Let me pull that up. And there's a graphic that somebody put out there, but my browser is acting up now. Rocky gave it something. But the thing what was interesting to me, the classic had been trending up. Let me see if I can find that, because they had the attendance. So I think the last 3 years we were over 20,000 people, and then we dipped back down to 15,000. And I thought that was really tough.
Yeah, it was 16,200 and something is what I think the number was.
So you're talking after us, Jackson State. I think we were 22. I think Jackson State was at 24. I think Alabama State was at 21, and then cycle back again with Central, and maybe they're the linchpin that nobody's coming from Central, and then they were back down at 15,000. So that's another thing too. It was different energy, compared to the previous 3 games. I had been to all of them and things like that. But I think what they've really got to do, they've really got to really lock in and get these kids and parents to this game. I think that's just very important. I think that's what you're going to get for people to have a good time. I think another thing too, what they might want to try to do, I know it's a lot, but a college fair would never hurt. Because I would have a college fair tent out there, right? With all the SWAC and MEAC schools giving scholarships right there on the, provisional scholarships.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah. That would be interesting.
I would have a college fair tent. You don't need a bunch of people. You have 2 people at each one, and have the kids sign up in a portal, put their information in, follow up. Kids got good grades. Hey, we're gonna shoot you, a provisional scholarship to come to our school. So again, something to get people down there to have skin in the game. Because then if you're already down there, you got the food down there, you got the fan experience, then you might as well just go in the game.
Absolutely. Hey, well, Steve, man, my computer, I need to shut this thing down, man, and it's telling me it's time to go, brother. It's been another great show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Coach Cole is not with us, so I'll do my best to end the show. If you see yourself at the end of the rope, tie a knot and hold on tight. because ain't nobody bad like you.
Good job. Good job.